I heard a little rolling, then I felt the wind. I said, it's an earthquake, it's an earthquake.
A 5.1 magnitude earthquake shakes much of the Bay Area late this morning. No reports of damage or injuries, but some rattled nerves and an important reminder of the risk.
The earthquake was centered 12 miles east of San Jose, and then a series of smaller aftershocks, 5 of them in all, soon followed. The shaking occurred along the Calaveras Fault. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Larry Beal.
And I'm Kristen Z. We have live team coverage of the earthquake with reporters all across the Bay Area.
Now, let's begin near the quake's epicenter in the South Bay. ABC 7 News reporter Zach Fuentes live in Campbell, where everybody is talking about that shaking. Zach?
Absolutely right. This has really been the big talker here in the South Bay. Of course, this all started later this morning. We were in our South Bay bureau about to head to another story for an interview on that when we started feeling two big jolts and then followed by some more rapid shaking. After that, it kind of felt like the room was spinning. All of that within about 30 seconds. Now, here in Campbell, where I'm standing on Campbell Avenue, this is a spot where a lot of people from throughout the South Bay come to visit. And people that we've gotten to speak with this afternoon have been talking about it, sharing their experiences. And the general consensus from them is matching up with the science that this is the strongest earthquake we've felt in the last 8 years or so. And though thankfully, again, we've had no reports of injury or major damage. One restaurant owner we spoke with here said the shaking did cause some minor damage that now has them rethinking their setup.
We were making the new wine list for our restaurant and we felt a little bit of the shaking. A few bottles dropped off from the bar and from the shelves. We realized it was an earthquake.
Now, that restaurant owner, they're telling us the shaking also caused food in their kitchen to fall off of prep tables. They tell me that this is a wake-up call, and they're now going to be reimagining how they position the wine at their bar and in their storage rooms. Now, coming up at 5, you're going to hear from a lot of the people we've spoken with, and each person I talked to today, I asked them, after what's happened today, do you feel that you're prepared for a really big earthquake? Each person I spoke with said no, and I'll fess up to that. I'm also one of those people who is really not as prepared as we should be. So again, no injuries, no major damage, but definitely a reminder for everybody here in the South Bay and hopefully throughout the Bay Area that we really need to be prepared based off of where we live. Right now, live in Campbell, Zach Fuentes, ABC 7 News.
Good reminder, Zach. Thank you. The 5.1 magnitude shaker also caused a disruption in Bay Area transit. BART trains were automatically stopped and Caltrain reduced the speed of its trains as a precaution. Caltrain says its trains will be experiencing delays, some routes longer than others. BART has resumed service as normal after completing its track inspection. Cal Fire officials felt the shaking at their headquarters along the San Mateo County coast. They checked for damage shortly after the quake rattled the building in El Granada, just north of Half Moon Bay. There was no sign of damage there.
Today was the strongest quake to shake the Bay Area since Napa's 6.0 earthquake 7 years ago. The destructive North Bay quake in 2014 killed 1 person, injuring 200 others. It occurred along the San Andreas Fault, destroyed many structures with $1 billion worth of damage. That earthquake lasted 10 to 20 seconds and caused a huge impact when you compare it with the 30-second 5.1 shaker today. Thankfully, no casualties this time around. Now, people felt the shake as far north as Fairfield to Stockton in the east, all the way south to Soledad in Monterey County. As ABC 7 News reporter Leslie Brinkley explains, also caused some panic for people in the East Bay.
My photographer and I did not feel the earthquake, but we were over in the 680 corridor in the East Bay. But I immediately got text messages from friends and family across the country asking if I felt it. Here in Alameda, I talked to at least 25 different people. Only 3 said they actually felt the shaking. It all depended on where they were.
So I was sitting there and I heard a little rolling and the rolling, then all of a sudden I sat there for a minute, then I felt the wind. It's like, oh, okay. I said, it's an earthquake, it's an earthquake.
Carla Ingram was at her office in Alameda.
Only one at work. I was the only one at work that felt it. I went through, I said, see, it was an earthquake, you guys. They said, no, it wasn't. I said, yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Down in San Leandro, this man was lying in bed with his newborn.
I started feeling a little rattle, and I'm like, oh, gosh, So I grabbed my baby, and, but it went away as soon as I grabbed my baby. But yeah, it was a little scary.
Oh, I was on my way to Alameda. I was driving right before the tube, and I got some text messages saying that there was an earthquake, but I didn't feel it, so.
But this man was on the 7th floor of a 9-story apartment building in Oakland.
I just felt my building just like swaying back and forth.
Scary a little bit?
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
But nothing fell off shelves or anything?
Oh no, nothing fell off. It only lasted like a couple seconds, so.
But everyone agreed it was a bit of a wake-up call. In Alameda, I'm Leslie Brinkley, ABC 7 News.
The quake made a few light fixtures shake. The early warning did give people time to get video of the effects and post it to social media. This video is from one home in San Jose. A little bit of shaking, not too bad. Users took the chance to let friends and followers know that they felt it too.
The quake had the artwork swinging inside the mostly empty classroom at a Stratford Elementary School in San Francisco. The teacher was the only person in the room and recorded this video, including his own reaction there.